Sziasztok! Hi everyone, I'm Sándor. Welcome to another beginner Hungarian lesson. Today we're going to tackle the Hungarian infinitive. I'm actually going to break this video into two parts because the usage of infinitive in Hungarian is quite diverse, which is not unlike English, but I want you to get a good general idea of how the infinitive works in Hungarian. So today we're going to learn quite a few words, a few grammatical rules, irregular verbs, all that good stuff. We've got a lot to talk about. One really important thing to begin with. Generally, and I mean very generally, the infinitive form in Hungarian allows you to find the stem of a verb. In English it's a bit easier because the English language uses the to prefix, and after that you pretty much have your verb stem. Or if you happen to be Korean, or if you happen to be learning Korean, the dictionary form of every Korean verb and adjective ends with the suffix ta. If you take that away, you instantly get a verb stem. For the most part, there is some irregular stuff there. So generally, this rule also applies to the Hungarian infinitive, but I would say that our verb stems can actually be found in third-person singular conjugation. That is their purest form. It's going to be really important when we'll start talking about verb conjugations, so keep that in mind. Okay, let's talk about the infinitive already. First of all, infinitive in Hungarian is főnévi igenév. Főnévi igenév. Roughly it means nounish verb name. Yeah, it's weird. The infinitive form is pretty easy to pick out in Hungarian because it has a very specific suffix. That suffix is ni. Ni. If you come across a word with this ending, it's most likely the infinitive form of some kind of verb. There are a few nouns with this ending, like zokni, for example. It means sucks. But most of the time you're dealing with the infinitive if the word ends with ni. I'm gonna do something unorthodox here and introduce 9 irregular verbs to you. When you're dealing with these verbs, the conjugations are, shall I say, unpredictable. A lot of them follow the same rule, not all of them, but a lot of them are very commonly used words, so you have to know them. I'll talk about the conjugation in another video. Today I'll only give you the infinitive forms of these verbs. What these verbs have in common is that they all end with ni, written and spelled with a double N. The 9 irregulars are jönni, to come, jönni, menni, to go, menni, lenni, to be, lenni. I just did a video on the conjugation of this, check it out. Enni, to eat, enni, inni, to drink, inni, hinni, to believe. It can also mean to think sometimes. Hinni, tenni, to do. It can also mean to put something somewhere. Tenni, venni, to buy. It can also mean to take out from something. Venni, vinni, to carry. It can also mean to take away. Vinni. So these verbs are going to have a pretty different form when conjugated, and their stem is harder to find. Let's see some more general verbs where the verb stem can easily be found in third-person singular conjugation. Beszél. He or she talks or speaks. Beszél. Beszélni. To talk or to speak. Beszélni. Néz. He or she watches or looks. Néz. Nézni. To watch or to look. Nézni. Lát. He or she sees or can see. Lát. Látni. To see or to be able to see. Látni. Ül. He or she sits. Ül. Ülni. To sit. It can also mean to serve a sentence in slang, but let's not go there. But as I said, generally, when you drop the suffix, you get the third-person singular form of a verb, and all the different suffixes are added to this stem according to the personal pronouns. But that's not all, unfortunately. There are quite a few so-called ikes ige in Hungarian. These are verbs where the third-person singular form ends with the suffix ik. There are 2 types of these ik verbs when it comes to their infinitive forms. The first type is very easy. You drop the ik suffix, add the ni suffix, and you have the infinitive form. For example, dolgozik. He or she works. Dolgozik. Dolgozni. To work. Dolgozni. Hazudik. He or she lies, as in not telling the truth. Hazudik. Hazudni. To lie. hazudni. Utazik. He or she travels. Utazik. Utazni. To travel. Utazni. The good news is that most of these types of verbs act like this. You drop the ik suffix at the ni suffix. Unfortunately, there are irregular cases, but not much. Those are alszik. He, she, it sleeps. Alszik. But to sleep is aludni. Aludni. Fekszik. He or she lies, like on the bed, you know. Fekszik. Feküdni. To lie. Feküdni. Haragszik. He or she is angry. We usually use this verb to be angry at someone. There are other expressions for being angry. This is one of them and is pretty specific. So, haragszik. Haragudni. To be angry. Haragudni. Veszekszik. He or she quarrels or fights verbally. Veszekszik. To quarrel or to fight verbally is veszekedni. Veszekedni. And finally the last one. Emlékszik or emlékezik. He or she remembers. Emlékszik or emlékezik. To remember is emlékezni. Emlékezni. I know that I'm covering a lot of ground here, but you can always stop the video or slow it down or go back to specific parts. We only have two things left to talk about, and they both kind of fall under the same umbrella. If the verb ends with an "ed" in third person singular, or if it ends with two consonants or a double consonant, the suffixes become ani or any, depending on the rules of vowel harmony. I did a video on that, I'll put it up in the corner. So to show you what I mean, segít. He or she helps. Segít. Segíteni. To help. Segíteni. Épít. He or she builds. Épít. Építeni. To build. Építeni. Borít. He or she covers something or turns something over. Borít. Borítani. To cover or to turn over. Borítani. These were a few examples of verbs ending with "ed". Now let's see a few with two consonants at the end. Mond. He or she says. Mond. Mondani. To say. Mondani. Küld. He or she sends. Küld. Küldeni. To send. Küldeni. Bánt. He or she hurts, either me or someone else, in that kind of context. Bánt. Bántani. To hurt. Bántani. Önt. He or she pours. A drink, some tea, water, whatever. Önt. Önteni. To pour. Önteni. As you can see, all of these verbs end with two consonants in their third person singular form. Wow, that was a lot, wasn't it? I hope I didn't fry your brains too much, and if I did, just go back and take this video in chunks. In the next video, I'm going to talk about the usage of infinitive in Hungarian. When and how, in which situations do we use it? Until then, study well. Thank you all for studying with me today, and see you in the next lesson. Sziasztok, a viszontlátásra!